Airial, if I could marry her brain, it would be amazing.
If you need anything technical.
She is down to earth. She's fun. She's very easy to network with.
Anything systems oriented.
Just anything web dev techie that I don't understand, Airial has swooped in and fixed. And she's my accountability bulldog.
She is a queen.
Anything infrastructure related.
She is helpful, and she helps guide and answer all your questions that you have about growing your business and networking and getting started.
She gives me life. She just gives me life.
Airial Reynal is your girl. Welcome to the TrepTECH Podcast with your host, Airial Reynal.
I just want to marry her brain. She's a genius.
Welcome back to the TrepTECH Podcast. I am your loyal servant, Scott Doucet, and I am here with the systemized, the mechanized, the Decepticon to my Autobot, Airial Reynal. How you doing?
Your consigliere. Advisor to the crime boss. Yep, love it. Hello. What are we talking about today?
So you have mentioned in the past, and we never really delivered on, and I'm starting to think about it now. We got on such a content rush that we never revisited. You wanted to talk about systemizing and automating and getting things set up so that you can actually take a break from being business as usual. And I think it's important we talk about that.
Yeah, because what I learned was that I learned how to do that, not realizing what I was doing. And that it's actually something that people want to learn how to do.
It is true. And I've noticed that you kind of need it, not even sometimes because you want to use it, but because you fucking have to.
Yes. So like 2018, the second season of the Veteran Woman podcast. 2018 was a tough year. I'm so glad I batch recorded everything. I think I recorded all episodes in like no more than 3 months, and it was for the whole season. And so that was automated. Once you produced it, it got put on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. It posted on my social media. So it looked like I was still recording and still into it. Granted, I could have promoted more, but at least that was still going on. It didn't fall by the wayside like I did.
Yeah, and I had a similar experience recently, honestly, where I had a day. Like there was a week ramping up to it, and I was working and I was being productive all week, but then I had a day where just everything came crashing down on me, and I didn't want to do it anymore. Like I didn't even want to be in business anymore. That's how much this day impacted me. As I was, if I didn't have a team that I was responsible for and a family that needed to eat, I think if it was just me alone, I might have stepped down that day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much I was tired of this game.
And I've had those days.
But then my pity party of a half an hour was thrown, and I was like, no, we're going to ramp back up and get into it. But I was able to go to my people and say, hey, I'm focusing solely on client delivery today. That is it. I am going off grid. Done. I was able to talk to my wife and say, hey, I'm going to go work on some things for a while, and take my space and do my thing. So that day I focused on rebuilding, and I felt okay, but I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Right. And it happens.
Yeah. And
that happens quite often with me.
And just having some systems in place that my emails are automated. So I didn't have to reach out to anyone. I didn't have to get on social media and blah, 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 blah to promote my business. I didn't have to engage at all. I could turtle and be my sad little self for a minute,
Yeah, because you scheduled
my posts
your
are all
podcast bay page post. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the days I feel good, I can get into a live, but on the days that I don't have to. And so what's nice about that is that my emails are all automated. The process is automated. I have a team in place that if, let's say, Tor goes, Scott, I want to go take a weekend in, the woods at a cabin. I'm able to go, yeah, okay, guys, take care of it. It's on you for the weekend. And they love it, to be honest with you, because they get to do all kinds of different shit. Breaks up their day a little bit too. But, I trust my team with everything. I trust that I can walk away and they'll still put out a top quality product.
And then the podcast helps with the flow and the automation, because while people are listening to it and we have those calls to action, we have the TrepTECH Academy. They can go to the TrepTECH Academy, sign up, engage in the content, and we don't have to do anything.
Yes. So the more you get this wheel ongoing, like the podcast leads to the TrepTECH sales page, leads to an automated this, leads to an email list, this leads to the podcast again, the more like traffic loops you can create that are automated and productive, the more you can find yourself stepping away from time-consuming tasks and actually saving your sanity a little bit.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to drop my favorite automation tools, because I was thinking also about Calendly. I think that's how you say it. For my calendar. So I'll tell people, instead of the back and forth, when are you available? Are you available this time? What time zone are you in? I just drop my link and they find a time that works for them. It pops up on my Google Calendar and I'm like, okay, I have a call today or tomorrow or next week. That is a huge one for me. I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, scheduling software can get pretty intense. I appeared on a show with a lady named Juliet Stapleton, and her onboarding process to get on her show is the tightest, cleanest thing I have ever seen as far as scheduling goes. Okay. So I went and clicked this link. It brought me to a video of her telling me, hey, this is what the experience is going to be. I'm so happy that you decided to bond with me on this. I already knew her. The second I watched, I was like, okay, this is your energy. This is your vibe. And she explained that she needs my promotional links down below and my name and the best time, and that I'm going to get emailed 3 times to remind me that this is coming. Told me the whole thing right there in the video. The video took all of 45 seconds, maybe a minute. And then I get down to the links and everything she said was there. So I filled it out willingly. And then I hit okay. And then there was a thank you video explaining how the show was going to break down, when she would call me, what I would talk about. She let me pick my own topics that I wanted to talk about as they were relevant to her show. And it just, this whole thing was so systematized that step by step by step, I was like, oh, I don't have to think of anything. My next step is in front of me as the user. But what she got was everything she would need for herself, for promotion, for hosting, for all the info. She got it up front so that she wouldn't have to chase me for anything.
And she built the rapport too. Oh my goodness, that's good.
Brilliant. It was the best thing. Like, I've never seen anything quite like it. It was awesome.
And you haven't mentioned this to me because
it just happened.
Oh, okay. Well, but also because I think about the Veteran Woman podcast. It's like, here's schedule a time, don't stress out, because all we're going to do is chit chat on air and people eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Because I'm really about don't stress out about it.
Yeah. When people call you in that pre-call and they're like, what do you want from me? To open your mouth and say the words you most want to say.
But I really like that system. I'm going to have to check that out.
But that's my point. Like, she no longer has to go and say, hey, Scott, can I get a photo of you? Because that was in her form. Scott, can I get your links to your website? Because that was in the form. Hey, Scott, what do you want to talk about today? That was on the form.
Was it a Google form?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I was so
that's the stuff I noticed, because I'm like, oh, I like this. Let me replicate it.
The techie in you like pays attention to all of that, but me, I was just so captivated by the process. And the salesman in me was like, this makes me feel great. I need this in my business. This is a detail I want, because it made me feel so good. And what I noticed was I liked her, and we still hadn't met face to face yet, but I still liked her as if we did.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's a service I can offer for your production clients.
Which was intense to me. Like, that was intense to me. And yeah, absolutely. That would be so cool to put on, because that would definitely be something we could use. Business tips like crazy being dropped today. But yeah, so like, that's just one of the things that I think systems can help you take care of. You could systemize your sales process and your funnels. And like, we can go into a whole other episode about outsourcing, I think, because you would have, I think, some awesome stories about that. But like, you know more about systems than I do. So like, I'm just kind of trying to think of where they work for me and what I've seen that was cool. But the things that worked for me was like slapping my entire business on a Google Drive and teaching Jesse how to do it.
Yeah.
It was simple. It's archaic. It looks like cave drawings, but we both know that system inside and out, that when we went to another system, we hated it and went back.
Right. And it's about what works for you, because you can try all these different platforms, all these different systems, all these different apps, all these different softwares, but it's based on what makes it easy for you.
We are simple cavemen. Give us little blocks with colors in them and we are happy.
I love Google Drive because it's visual. You're used to the structure on your computer with the folders and everything. So that's what we do on Google Drive.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And I am a Lego kid. So, on an Excel spreadsheet, I'm just stacking blocks. That's all I'm doing the whole time I'm there.
What's another favorite automation tool that you have?
Honestly, I love Libsyn for podcasts.
I was about to say Libsyn too. Yeah.
Being able to schedule like a month of shows in advance is so badass. As long as you've got the storage quota, you can batch record and just run with it. And so I think it's just a beautiful software. The guys over there are really helpful too. Rob and Dave and those guys and their support team. And the guy, like Rob is the vice president and he gives out so much information. And
what I use Libsyn for, because I use Libsyn for the TrepTECH podcast, so the podcast that you're currently listening to, is in there you can have where it automatically, once an episode released, it automatically creates a video in YouTube. So it automatically goes to YouTube, automatically goes to my Facebook page. And then I use the RSS feed to automatically send an email. I use MailChimp right now, but automatically send an email to my list whenever a new episode drops. So it just goes, it just works. So I know my email is getting a message at least once a week with the TrepTECH podcast information, which is a ton of information. And it's on YouTube for more visibility. And then, of course, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes,
Yeah, it pushes it out and you can schedule it so far in advance. And you can add custom artwork to every episode if you want to. You can go really far with it. But at the end of the day, it's only as much work as you want to make it, which is nice. But again, if you've got the skills of the people in place, you can really make some amazing systems. And if you don't see systems the way we do, contact us. For real.
Yes.
Airial can build them and I can see them like it's nobody's business. We could definitely spice up your life a little bit. And you bring up a good point. Email, Aweber. I use Aweber. It's simple for me. It works for me. It's easy. It feels nice. And I email my list Monday to Friday. And I have themes, so I don't have to think very hard. I know that Wednesday's a captain's log. Thursday's handled for me because outsourcing is badass. Friday is a sales day. Monday's a stats day. Tuesday's a tip day. I know that. So I don't have to think about that because even that's systematized.
Yeah. So you have the automated systems with the computer, and then you just have your systems, however you set up and your workflow goes.
Yeah. It's all organized and systematized because straight down to we have a template for every single show we work on.
That's
because
cheating.
Jesse used to open Audition and start fresh every single time. And I was like, dude. So I opened Audition, I saved the intro and outro where roughly they belong and clicked save, adjusted their volumes and clicked save. And he was like, whoa, I just discovered fire.
So again, anybody listening to this, don't freak out. Scott can see the systems. He's a good planner and organizer. He has that engineering type brain. I connect it all. I do the tech stuff. And also what I like to do is I'll play with different platforms. So with one client, I'm working an active campaign. I use MailChimp and Entreport. I'm working on Aweber with you, WordPress, Google sites, just the different platforms. And based on the people who I work with, their personality and their grasp of technology, I'm like, okay, this would be a good platform for you. Or no, this won't be a good platform. We could actually do a whole show on that, different platforms.
Absolutely.
And revealing them.
And how some of them just don't play nicely together.
'Cause I remember we did try this one funnel type platform and people raved about it, but it didn't work for me.
I wasn't feeling it.
And usually if it doesn't work for me, it's not going to work for the average person because I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
I figure things out in like 2 seconds. If I can't figure it out in 2 seconds, then it's too cumbersome.
Yeah, because honestly, you can do things that makes me like hate life while I'm doing it, and you'll be there. Oh, it took me like 5 minutes, and I'm like, what?
And I had so much fun doing it.
Like I signed up to Adobe Audition's affiliate program not too long ago because I want to sell their stuff because I believe in it, right? I love Adobe. We use it here at Podcast Bay. And there was a thing I didn't understand. It was all done in web speak. I was like, no, I don't like this. I'm going to send this to Airial. I was like, Airial, do you understand this? She's like, yeah. I was like, can you do this? She's like, already done. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Thank you.
I'm like, that's
Appreciate
easy.
it. Your bill's in the mail. Like, check your email. I've already invoiced you. It's done.
Jacqueline did the same thing with SEO. She ran an SEO report. And so it talks about the content and, you know, how to keywords and all of that stuff. And then she sent me the rest of the list and she was like, I don't know what the hell this is saying. Do you understand any of this? And I was like, oh yeah, that's easy stuff.
It makes you a very easy person to collaborate with. And that's an episode we can definitely do in the future too. But, you know,
I love tech troubleshooting. I love it.
You know, if you're sick, if you need a mental health break, if the world is getting to you, if you want to go, you know, have some sexy time with your wife in a cabin in the woods, if you want to attend a vacation or take your daughter out for an evening, you're going to need to be able to step away from your business. You know?
Or if you want to have a drink, if you're single and you want to have a drink.
Yeah, if you want to go out with friends, if you want to go catch a hockey game with your old man, like, or, you know, Cowboys,
unplug.
One of their fans.
Yes, Cowboys.
You know, if you want to unplug and go enjoy life, you have to have a business that you can unplug. And systems are your life support when you're not around. So I think you should definitely look at your business at the very least and see where you can automate some things to make your life easier.
Make sure to check out the TrepTECH Podcast because we have outlines of operating procedures, so establishing your business systems, our favorite automation tools, our favorite types of systems, and the different systems you should have in your business, all kind of templates and swipe files to make things a lot easier and run more smoothly in your business.
And that is in the TrepTECH Academy, and you can get the link to that in the show notes.
Did I say Academy or TrepTECH Podcast?
I think you said podcast, but I was just going to cut that out and be subtle about it, but no. Okay, we're here now.
Oh.
So with that, I think I've said all I need to say. Are you good, Airial?
I'm good.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to sign off for now, and we will catch you next week with more entrepreneurial technology goodness.
Thank you for tuning in to the TrepTECH Podcast. But if you like what you heard, go on to Apple Podcast and bring her a 5-star review. And also, if you want to check out her service while she transforms mindsets, navigating entrepreneurship, leveraging technology, building relationships while bridging the gap in your business, check out TrepTECHacademy.com. That's TrepTECHacademy.com.